World-class students, good day all. I'm here to present to you the Teaching Practice Code of Conduct. What is Code of Conduct? A Code of Conduct is a set of rules and guidelines designed to outline the expected behaviors and responsibilities for individuals within an organization or group. It aims to ensure that members adhere to ethical standards, comply with legal requirements, and act in a manner consistent with the organizational values and goals. A code of conduct helps maintain a positive and professional environment by providing clear expectations and procedure for handling various situations. Every established profession has its ethics, which identify the personality of the practitioners. Teaching practice is not an exception. Now, what is teaching practice? Teaching practice is an integral part of a teacher education program aimed at providing student teachers an opportunity to put into practice their theoretical knowledge in a real-life situation. It also offers teacher educators and educational managers a golden opportunity for practical appraisal of the effectiveness of teacher education program. As the saying goes, practice makes perfect. Now, what are the objectives of teaching practice? To expose student teachers to real-life classroom experiences under the supervision of a professional teacher. To provide a forum for student teachers to translate educational theories and principles into practice. To enable student teachers to discover their own strengths and weaknesses in classroom teaching, and provide opportunities to enable them to overcome their weaknesses and consolidate on their strengths. To help student teachers develop a positive attitude towards the teaching profession. To serve as a means of assessing the professional competence of student teachers. To familiarize student teachers with the school environment as their future workplace. To provide student teachers with an opportunity for further acquisition of professional skills, competencies, personal characteristics, and experience for full-time teaching after graduation. To help student teachers develop a positive attitude towards the teaching profession. To serve as a means of assessing the professional competence of student teachers. To develop personal relationship with other administrators, teachers, parents, and the students. To provide the future teachers with experience in school to overcome the problem of discipline and enable him or her develop method of control. To enable student teachers effectively plan and prepare lessons. To develop skills in the use of fundamental procedures, techniques, and method of teaching. To develop skills in the use of fundamental procedures, techniques, and method of teaching. To serve as a means of assessing the quality of training being provided by teacher training institutions. Now, what is the code of ethics for teaching practice? You need to be more attentive here, please. The purpose of Code of Ethics is to set high standards for professional conduct and teaching excellence for both novice and experienced teachers. It clarifies the attributes, competencies, and behaviors that all student teachers are expected to develop and demonstrate, even though they are not yet full-fledged teachers. The Code of Conduct also guides the work of cooperating teachers and university supervisors as they prepare student teachers for the profession. At the core of the Code of Ethics is the expectation that student teachers will act with integrity, honesty, fairness, and dignity in all their dealings with students, parents, peers, teachers, faculty, and staff in schools. For students undertaking teaching practice, an attendance register shall be kept by administration of the corporation school on each of the practicing teacher posted therein. All students on teaching practice must sign time in and time out in the register each working day. Members of the teaching practice committee or their delegates shall undertake on-the-spot checks on teaching practice students from time to time throughout the teaching practice period. Coordinators from the faculty shall be required to inspect the attendance register and take on-the-spot roll call of the students posted to schools where they are supervising. All students shall be assessed several times, at least 3 to 4 times. A student shall be required to repeat teaching practice under the following condition. I want you to note all this now. A student shall be required to repeat the teaching practice under the following conditions. 1. Any student who reports himself or herself out of the school he or she is expected to practice without a prior notice to the head of department concerned or the teaching practice chairman. If a student scores less than 40%, he or she will be required to repeat the teaching practice. If a student absents himself or herself from the teaching practice without permission from the school authority for upward of 1 week, the student will be required to repeat the teaching practice. If the student is found guilty of professional misconduct, the student will be asked to repeat the teaching practice. You can see I'm repeating myself. If a student is absent from teaching practice for any reason deemed valid by the academic board, he or she shall be required to make up the balance of the teaching practice period. Any serious proven cases of professional misconduct during teaching practice shall lead to expulsion of the student from the faculty and from the university. Professional misconduct. You need to know what is professional misconduct so that you will not fall short of your expectation during teaching practice. The Code of Professional Conduct stipulates minimum standard for an individual who is registered in a program at the Lagos State University, leading to a permanent certification as a qualified teacher in education. Professional misconduct is assessed through the attitude, behaviors demonstrated by the student teacher in both the academic and field experience components of the teaching practice program. Student teachers must develop and display a set of consistent educational and professional values and attitudes. These include, but not limited to, honesty and a concern for truth, open-mindedness, sound judgment, a sense of fairness and justice, respect for others, trustworthiness, discretion, concern for interests of others, courage, cooperativeness, high standard in teaching, and dedication to the goals of schooling. In addition to meeting the academic standard of the teacher training program of studies, accepted professional conduct means that student teachers are expected to, listen please, student teachers are expected to, these are professional conducts. 1. Adhere to academic regulations in the Lagos State University undergraduate calendar. Cite references when using materials or information that they have not developed, including information and materials from the web. Work in a respectful and cooperative manner with the cooperating teacher and exhibit collegial behavior. Accept constructive analysis of performance by cooperating teacher, principal, or university supervisor and implement suggestions. Prepare and submit instructional plans in a timely fashion. Enrich classroom instruction beyond routine textbook or workbook exercises. Demonstrate professional commitment. Adhere to rules and requirements that apply to full-time teachers. Ensure that safety and security of students are done at all times. Establish proper rapport with students based upon their developmental levels and needs. Establish and maintain appropriate professional and personal relationships with teachers, school staff, and parents. You communicate using correct language in both oral and written forms. The list is endless. I thank you so much for listening to this Code of Conduct of Ethics for Teaching Practice and for Teachers in Training. Thank you all, and I wish you the very best of luck in your endeavors. Thank you so much.